Please make sure to pay back the loan, okay? While I was at work, I got a sudden email. When I quickly called Greg, he calmly said, "Sorry, but I've fallen for someone else. I'm starting a new life with her." And he wanted to take the fancy car we recently bought with a loan in my name. Even though I tried to stop him, my husband ignored me, hung up suddenly, and then I couldn't reach him. In the end, Greg left with his new partner, and now I have a big debt. As a mom to our 10-year-old son, I never thought something so unfair would happen. I feel really lost. Feeling lost and not knowing what to do. I'm 35 years old and my name is Hannah. My husband Greg is the same age, and we have a family of 3, including our 10-year-old son Ryan. Ryan is really smart, even from a young age, reading things on the computer and asking for my thoughts on them. Even though the topics are confusing, I'm always amazed by his intelligence. Unlike Ryan, Greg hasn't had a steady job. I work full-time and worry about our future. Recently though, Greg held the same job for 3 years and earned a stable income. Around that time, he talked about making memories as a family, and we decided to buy a $35,000 camper van. Since Greg couldn't get the loan in his name, I ended up taking it. On the day the camper van was supposed to arrive, I got an unexpected email from Greg, saying, "I'll take the delivered camper van gracefully. Since the loan is in your name, you'll handle the repayments." I called my husband right away, not understanding what the email meant. "What's that email about?" while I was at work. "Well, I've fallen in love with another woman and decided to date her." "What? What are you talking about? I thought it would be just a short thing, but it got serious. So I'm thinking of starting a new life with her. Bye. Remember those divorce papers I prepared after our fight? I'll file them," he said, and then abruptly ended the call. This was the first time I realized Greg betrayed me, and it was really shocking. After that, Greg didn't answer my calls no matter how many times I tried. I wondered, can something like this really happen? When I came home from work and looked in the drawer where the divorce papers should be, they were already gone, so I was stuck with a big debt from a $35,000 car loan. Despite trying to reach Greg through emails and calls, he never replied. Ryan noticed something was off with me and came to check on me after dinner. "Mom, what's wrong? You haven't been eating much lately. Are you okay?" Yeah, maybe I'm just tired." When people lie, they look up to the right. Lying is bad. I've noticed Dad hasn't been home for 3 days, right? Surprised by Ryan's keen words, I took a deep breath and decided to tell him everything since I couldn't hide the truth anymore. "I get it. Dad tends to do things like that. Are you feeling sad?" "No, I kind of saw it coming with how things were." Ryan, like he could predict the future, seemed not bothered by our parents' divorce, but deep down I knew he must be sad. While silently apologizing to Ryan in my thoughts, I worked really hard, trying not to think about the bad stuff. However, my body was honest and my health got worse over time. There was a training session at work that day, but I couldn't stand up and ended up sitting down. "Sorry, I can't stand up right now. I need to take a break." I heard my colleagues worried about me, but I couldn't respond and just collapsed. When I woke up, I was in a hospital room. The doctor said I needed more tests, so they kept me in the hospital. I thought, I feel so weak. It's just supposed to be stress. Tears started flowing when I looked at the IV in my arm and the hospital room ceiling. At that moment, Ryan, usually calm, rushed in looking really worried. I quickly wiped away my tears. "Mom, what happened? Is it serious? You're not going to die, right?" No, I wouldn't leave you alone." "Phew, that's good. The school called, saying you were taken to the hospital." I was so shocked. Ryan is usually mature, but he's still just 10. I promised myself to get better for him, but my health was worse than I thought, and the doctor said I had a serious illness. The doctor said, "You should have surgery as soon as possible. Please decide quickly." So I had the surgery. When I left the hospital, it had been a month since Greg left. When I got home and checked the mailbox, there was a letter asking for the car loan payment. I thought the money should have been taken from my account automatically. What happened? Panicking, I looked at my cash card balance, which was supposed to be $20,000, but it was only $33.90 now. I thought Greg must have done this. I want to ask him to give the money back, but I can't reach him. What should I do? I can't sell the camper van since I don't have it. After Greg left, everything started going wrong, and my mood got even worse. Seeing me upset about all these problems, Ryan touched my forehead. You look pale. Are you feeling sick again? You don't have a fever though. Physically, I'm okay, but your dad not only took the car but also all our saved money. I can't work yet because of my health, and now we have no money. I don't know what to do. I get it. Then I'll deliver newspapers and I'll check the internet for any jobs I can do. Feeling encouraged by my 10-year-old son, I told myself it's not the time to be sad. Sorry for making you worry. I can't be weak. I'll change my thinking and try to do whatever I can. Smiling at him, Ryan smiled back and then said something surprising. Let's figure out how to get the car back from Dad. How can we do that? The camper van is in your name, right? Yes. But so what? Then let's check on my phone. A month ago, when we went hiking as a family, surprisingly Ryan, who is usually very reliable, got lost. At that time we bought a kid's cell phone on Ryan's suggestion and installed a GPS app on it, which both Greg and I could use. With this app, I can see where Dad is in real time, and he's been moving around a lot. Oh really? But what if we find him, and he just gives a vague answer and runs away again? As I thought about this, Ryan smiled and made an interesting suggestion. Don't worry, I've already taken precautions. What? What did you just say? To my surprise, Ryan had done something amazing on his own while I was in the hospital. I thought, I can't believe such a smart child came from me. Understanding Ryan's words, I was just amazed. He even found out about Greg's girlfriend. Okay, let's show Dad, who betrayed us, a lesson. Sure, let's start the plan now. Together, my son and I got ready for that moment. I thought, with Ryan beside me, I can handle anything. Bring it on, anywhere, anytime. Then 3 days later, my phone rang. Ah, it's me. Please, I need your help. Oh, who might this be? Don't act like you don't know. It's your husband, obviously. I'm being questioned by the police about you. They might ask me to come to the police station. Help me out. Oh, really? Just wait a moment then. I quickly went with my son to where Greg was, and to my surprise, it was a forest park near our house where camping was allowed. Greg was being questioned by the police in front of his car, looking confused. Feeling sorry for him, I sighed and talked to the police. We need to talk as a couple, and I asked them to come back for a while. Greg looked uncomfortable with people watching, so he hurried Ryan and me into the car. Inside, Greg's girlfriend was sitting, glaring at us, but that didn't matter anymore. Sorry about that. Thanks for coming, but why did the police show up at my place? I don't get it. That's because I reported the missing camper van. What? Why would you do that? It's obvious, right? My car was stolen. Greg, thinking that actions between spouses can't be criminal, was saying confusing things, but the world isn't that simple. You filed for divorce, remember? Forgot. So we are strangers now, and you're driving a stranger's car without permission. That's a crime. Ryan figured all this out, as sharp as ever, that kid. But I didn't steal the car. I just borrowed it for a bit. Oh, really? Well, I need my car now, so can you get it back? That would be really helpful. I reached out my hand to get the keys from Greg, and he reluctantly handed them over after checking it was returned. Ryan quietly spoke up. Hey, why did you leave your family and choose to be with this woman? Caught off guard by his son's unexpected question, Greg was confused and awkwardly scratched his head. Seeing this, Greg's girlfriend chuckled smugly and started talking. It's because I'm more attractive than your mom. Look at me, you can see it, right? He fell for me and decided to leave his family. Quiet. I didn't ask you, old lady. Dad, you answer. Mandy quieted down when Ryan spoke firmly, but Greg stayed silent. If you can't explain, that's okay. I'll just call the police back and have them arrest you. Wait, hang on. Okay, I'll talk. It turns out Mandy joined Greg's company 3 months ago. They liked each other and got together at the welcome party for new employees. Later, they found out Mandy was pregnant, and Greg decided to start a new life with her, leaving us behind. And why did you take the camper van? I quit my job and was thinking of selling the car for money, but it looks like you were using it a lot, right? I thought it would be a waste to sell it right away, so we planned to go on a trip. Wait, how do you know all this? Remember when Ryan got lost? After that, as a precaution, we bought him a kid's cell phone and installed a GPS app. Did you forget? We put it on your phone too, so I knew where you were all this time. By the way, I later found out from Ryan that he pretended to get lost during our family hike because he wanted a cell phone. I was amazed at Ryan's ability to think and act so smartly. I thought something was wrong with Dad, so I made this plan to keep an eye on him. You're really a scary kid. I never want to become an adult like you, Dad, who betrays important people without thinking. Greg, faced with the tough truth Ryan told, couldn't say anything back. On the other hand, seeing Ryan, just 10 years old but able to think and speak strongly, gave me a sense of strength as a mom. I felt like I couldn't lose, especially in making things right. Also, give back the $20,000 you took from my account now. That was our shared money as a couple. You should return it. No, it's not. That money was what I saved bit by bit since I was single. You often quit your jobs, so we didn't save much money together, did we? I was shocked to hear that Greg and his girlfriend wasted the $20,000. It was the moment I felt glad about getting a divorce. So that's how it is. But if you took the car and my money without permission, that's a serious crime. I just sent the police away, so it's not their business anymore, right? I've only said we would talk. I'm not taking back the complaint. I need to report the theft of my money. Mom, should I call the police now? I can do it with just one button on my phone. Mandy, Greg's girlfriend, had been watching our conversation but quickly tried to leave the camper van. At that moment, she let out a scream that echoed around. The reason was that outside the car door, Mandy's parents were standing there, their faces red with anger about to explode. Startled, she stepped back as her parents yelled at her. "Ah, I'm sorry. Don't be so mad. But why are your parents here, Mom and Dad? I called them before." "What? Why?" The truth is, when I was in the hospital, Ryan went to Greg's office and sadly told them, "My dad left the house with a woman we don't know," and my mom collapsed. Seeing Ryan so upset, the people at Greg's office suspected Mandy, who left the company with Greg, and gave Ryan her parents' address. Greg and Mandy were really friendly at the office, and there were pictures of them together at the welcome party for new employees, looking like a couple. After learning from the office people that you commuted from your parents' house, I went there with your photo. Your parents came out when I visited, and then I told them everything that had happened. So today I called Mandy's parents and asked them to wait nearby for a while. How could you do this to me? The worst. I don't want to hear that from you. That's my line. By the way, your stomach seems quite big. When is the baby due? In 3 months. What? Hold on. That doesn't match up with when you met my husband. You two only met 3 months ago, right? What's happening? It's not time for the baby to be born yet. Greg, hearing this for the first time, stared at Mandy, eyes wide. Wait, what does that mean? Are you stupid? Don't you get it? It takes about 9 months from getting pregnant to having a baby, which means the child she's carrying isn't yours. You're so foolish. What do you mean, Mandy? Have you been lying to me? Ah, I almost got away with it. Can't help it now that I'm caught. You're so gullible. You can't see through lies at all. Really a fool? Don't mock me. My whole life is ruined because of you. What were you thinking? Greg and Mandy started arguing, but nobody stopped them, letting them work it out. Meanwhile, we called the police again to explain the situation. As it started to get dark, the forest park was lit up by the red lights of the police cars. No, really, I messed up. I was truly wrong. I'm sorry. I'll work hard and never cheat again, so please just don't arrest me, Dad. People don't change that easily, especially lazy people like you. Exactly, Ryan's right. I can't trust you at all. Think about what you did and face the consequences at the police station. If I get arrested, I won't be able to pay back the money. Is that okay with you? I don't mind. Pay me back after you've made up for your mistakes. Take your time, don't worry. I've already found you a job. Let's see, there's Ryan's child support, plus the $20,000 you stole from me. I'm not sure how much it will all add up to, but you'll work and pay it all back. I had one last thing to say to Mandy, the girlfriend. You might think you're just watching, but don't forget you're part of Greg's theft. Be ready for that. When I said that Mandy would have to pay if Greg couldn't return the stolen money, she got scared. Mandy asked her parents for help, but they refused, saying, "We disown a daughter who causes trouble for others." So Greg and Mandy got taken away in a police car because of what they did. Thanks to Ryan's smart plan, we were able to make sure Greg and Mandy faced consequences. Even though they were let go from jail soon after, they had to pay me a lot of money. I, with the help of a lawyer, asked for $20,000 as compensation. Also, I made Greg agree to pay $500 every month for Ryan's support. I helped Greg find a job in a factory connected to the company where I work. The money he owes me, along with other charges, will be taken from his salary and put into my account. I also sold the camper van and got rid of the car loan. Since then, I've become much healthier and am doing well at my job. Ryan has been helping a lot with chores and tasks around the house. I want to keep going strong so that Ryan can follow his dreams without giving up.